What is up, everybody? It's your bro Fire back with another Lost video, and today we're going to be doing an update video on the newest wipe 0.57, which has just been added into the game, which has a ton of new items and ways to craft weapons. So you're going to want to stick around to the end of the video to know how you can get ahead of your competition and dominate the server. So as usual, the first thing I want to do is go through the update log on the official Lost Discord. There have been a ton of bug fixes and optimizations, but for the most part, you should know that it has reduced the lag quite a bit, and also some of the minute bugs that people have dealt with have been removed. There have been some issues that players have been having, but they shouldn't be so major that it's game breaking. Now, there have been a ton of balances and small changes to the game, but I'll go over the most important things. So first of all, the first aid kit, the durability of it has been reduced from 250 to 150, and also the spawn chance of it has been reduced. The snipers or raiders, the ones on the oil rig, can now shoot a little bit slower, and they only shoot in rounds of 2 rather than 4. So taking oil rig will be a little bit easier. Also, the bow and arrow velocity has been increased from 195 to 235, and the damage has been increased from 49 to 51, which doesn't seem that major, but for this update it is. Also, he has balanced the loot and increased the amount that you get from mining stone from 800 to 1000, but reduced the amount that you get from mining iron from 800 to 650 and sulfur from 800 to 450. Now it's time for the big stuff. He has added a ton of new items into the game that have been highly anticipated by the community. So first of all, let's go through it. So he has added item stats to the crafting menu. He is also adding crafting tables, which will be the next thing we get into, so stick around for that. Also, he has changed the torch, stone spear, and wooden spear, and added landmines and a bear trap, and the new skin pack, which I have opened and posted a video for, so if you want to go check that out, please make sure to do so after watching this. So now let's get into the crafting tables, so let's head into the game. Now that we are in game, the first thing I want to go through is the workbenches. There are 3 tiers, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 that have been added into the game. Now these are extremely important for being able to craft weapons and tools. The tier 1 workbench is going to be very important for crafting certain handmade weapons, especially the handmade shotgun, handmade pistol, and the crossbow. Now, the tier 2 is going to be mostly used for rifle ammo, a pump shotgun, a Mosin Nagant, and the SAR or handmade rifle. Now, the tier 3, the chonky boy, is going to be mostly used for crafting the AK, C4, and high external walls, and also turrets. Now, how to acquire these workbenches. So the tier 1, you will need 500 wood, 200 metal frags. Tier 2, you're going to be needing a workbench tier 1 in order to craft this, and it also costs 500 metal frags and 75 high qual. And tier 3, you're going to need a tier 2 workbench, and it costs 1000 metal frags and 200 high quality metal. Now, in order to craft items out of these workbenches, you do not have to click on the workbenches. You just have to be within the general vicinity of them, and you will have the certain items for the tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 unlocked. And it works that if you have a tier 3 workbench, you can craft anything at any tier. If you have a tier 2, you can craft at both tier 2 and tier 1. So just keep on upgrading your tiers, and you'll eventually be able to unlock every item in the game. Now, a big thing that has been changed for the crafting is that there are now things called receivers or bodies, and these are going to be used a lot in order to craft mostly weapons, and you can find these in elite crates and military crates. So, for example, the Mosin, you'll need a Mosin receiver in order to craft the weapon, and also something like the AK, you will need an AKM receiver in order to craft it. So for the most part, that's really it in terms of the workbenches. I know that it seems like it's a lot and it's very overwhelming, so it'll take a little bit of time for you to play and get used to, but just note that that means that looting and playing the game will be a little bit slower, so you're going to want to play a little bit more through wipes. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the addition of the landmine and also the bear trap. Now, these may not seem like big things, but they can be good for defending bases against raids, and also if you want to raid, to prevent yourself from being counter-raided. Now, the bear trap does require a workbench tier 1, but once you use it, it can be used multiple times, because if somebody were to step on it, it will close, and then you can kill them. And then you can also reopen it and also pick up the bear trap. Unlike the landmine, which requires a tier 2 workbench, which once you place it, you cannot pick it up, and also you can detonate it by shooting it. So if you see a landmine, don't get close, just shoot it and keep moving on. Now, these changes may not seem so drastic, but you're going to want to be a little bit more cautious when raiding or attacking, and you're also going to want to be aware of teammates that might get caught in bear traps, or if there's a landmine nearby. Now, for some of the more minor stuff, there have been changes to the wooden spear, the stone spear, and also the torch. So for one, the torch can now be turned on and off. If I could just take it out here. There it is. I can right click and just turn it on and off, which is a little bit helpful, but really doesn't make that much of a difference. Soldier has said that he wants to make a lot of the items more HD looking, so expect more changes in the future to how the certain items look. So one thing I want to add about the looting system is that items may come damaged. So things like a pickaxe, a jackhammer, and also your hatchet, as you can see, will come a little bit damaged when you make it. So you're going to want to craft a repair bench for yourself, which requires a tier 1 workbench. Now, the last addition to this update is the fact that there are item stats. So things like damage, velocity, and fire rate will now show up on guns, so you know exactly what you're going to get when you craft a weapon. And that'll be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you learned something new today. And if you did, please make sure to like and subscribe so that we can share this video to all Lost players that may need a little bit of help just like you did. Also, if you'd like to play with myself and other Fire fans and Lost enthusiasts, please make sure to join my Discord server. The link is in the description. Also, I will be trying to do more Twitch streams for this Lost wipe very soon, so go follow my Twitch. The link is in the description, and that's really it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Peace.